There is no trophy for figuring it out the hardest way possible. But for some reason, a lot of people, especially in the service business world, they treat struggling alone like it's some kind of badge of honor. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but there is zero honor in going at it alone. And today I'm going to tell you a story about a buddy of mine who did try to do it all by himself and he ended up shutting down his own business. I'm also going to break down 9 lessons that I have learned from running multiple businesses, real things that if you understand them are going to reduce the chances of failure and also going to increase your chances of building something real. These are lessons that have helped me grow a pressure washing company from scratch, build training programs, build a pretty big YouTube channel that have helped thousands of people, and launch a software company that is now changing how service businesses operate. This isn't theory. This is real life. And I make these videos to help, but I also want to take it a step further and help one person that's watching with their business right now. I'm giving away 1 year of QuoteIQ Elite. That's our top tier. It's got every available feature, including InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, the Route Optimizer, which is one of our new features, mass email and text blasts, as well as email automation pipelines. And also I'm going to give away 1 year of our virtual call team and 5 QIQ ads of your choice. Total value of about $5,000. Now let's get into it. So a couple weeks ago, it's Mother's Day weekend, and I run into my old friend, right? I've known this guy a long time, solid guy. He moved out of state with his wife and his 2 kids. He got a job elsewhere, is trying to build something better for his family. After moving, he lost his job. Now, he's got mouths to feed, so he decides that he's going to start his own thing, and he starts a pressure washing business. Now, he knows me, okay? He's seen the success that I've had with my own pressure washing business. He knew about my YouTube channel, as well as all the training programs that we put together, like How to Wash 2, and he was also around when we started building QuoteIQ. So he knew that I would help him if he asked, but guess what? He never reached out, he never texted me, he never called. So we were talking and he says, yeah, man, I had to shut down the business. It just didn't work out. Couldn't get customers. The skid that he bought was apparently a piece of shit. Kept breaking down. The company that sold it to him totally ghosted him. His competitors were too cheap. His market was oversaturated. And he couldn't handle the stress, he said. And yeah, like I've heard all of that before. Some are legit, right? But most were just excuses. And I said, why didn't you ever call me? And he looks at me and says, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it on my own. If I was going to succeed, I'd succeed on my own. And if I failed, I'd fail on my own. And I'm thinking to myself, that might be the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. Now, I didn't say that, but why in the world would you want to fail alone, right? Why are we afraid of succeeding with help? That mindset, right? That ego-fueled lone wolf mentality is what kills businesses before they even get the chance to get off the ground. And that brings me to the first lesson. And the first lesson is the lone wolf dies first, okay? You can't do it all yourself, right? You are not supposed to do it all yourself. The most successful people in this industry and the most successful people in any industry and the most successful people that I know, the guys that are building, that are scaling, that are making real money, those guys, they aren't doing it alone. They've got mentors, they've got systems, they've got tools, they've got people that they can call when things go sideways. Now, if you're the smartest person in the room, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to find a new circle, find a new room. That is how it works. Success isn't about doing everything. It's about building the right team, leaning on others, and using the blueprint that already exists. And that is something that so many guys don't do or they just won't do. And that takes us into the second lesson, which is education being the cheat code, okay? If you're not learning, you're losing. It's that simple. And I don't care how many jobs you've got booked out this week. If you're not actively improving, reading, watching, listening, asking, you are going to stall eventually. Now, I've spent thousands of dollars on training, on conferences, masterminds, because I wanted to compress the time. I didn't want to spend 5 years learning what I could learn in 5 weeks. One course can change the trajectory of your business forever. One video can save you from a $10,000 mistake, a free video on YouTube. One coach can show you how to turn your $500 days into $5,000 weeks. You can either pay with your time or you can pay with your money, but you're going to pay one way or the other. And I'd rather pay up front and win faster. And this isn't a pitch to buy anything that I sell. I don't care if you do. You can if you want. You don't have to. But the resources are there if you want to move further, faster, right? From me or anybody else. But education is the key to success. And then lesson number 3 is systems will either make you or they will break you. Okay. And here's the truth. You are never going to scale past the chaos if you don't build systems. You can't grow past your ability to manage chaos. Okay. If you're forgetting quotes, if you're missing follow-ups, if you're double booking jobs, you don't have a business. You just have a big fucking mess. And that is not the way you want to run things. Systems are what separate businesses from hobbies, businesses from side hustles, right? And that's why we built QuoteIQ, because I needed a tool to help me track my numbers, close jobs, communicate with customers, manage everything in one place. And I couldn't find it. So we built it, right? I was duct taping together 4 or 5 apps, just trying to make everything work. And it was okay. It was cumbersome, lots of work, multiple data entry points throughout all of it. And I knew it wasn't the best way to run things. Now, if your business relies entirely on you to function, then what happens when you get sick or you're just burnt out or you want to take a vacation? It happened to me, 2019, bilateral walking pneumonia, didn't know I had it. I kept pushing through and it caught me. Every organ in my body shut down. I was put in an induced coma for over a month, flatlined twice. They didn't think I was going to survive. They didn't think if I did, I was going to walk or talk again. And at that time, my wife had to continue running the business and it was a freaking mess, right? Paperwork everywhere, different apps. Nothing was cohesive or nothing worked together easily. And that was one of the main reasons and inspirations for QuoteIQ. So build systems now or burn out later, or your business is going to fall apart. There really is no in between. And if you can't afford $29 a month to run your business, you don't have a business, or at least you're not going to have one for long. So figure that piece out. And again, it doesn't have to be anything that I sell, but it has to be something. Okay. The next lesson is your people are an investment. They're not a cost, right? And I used to think that hiring people would make me less money, that I could do it faster myself. I could do it better myself. Nobody was going to care like I cared. And I was right at first. Also, I was a cheapskate and paid really bad. And guess what I got? I got bad employees that would never care. But even worse, they were okay with making what I was offering. And that ain't the type of person that you want to represent your business, right? But once I started paying people right and training people right, investing in them, showing them the vision, that's when everything changed, right? That's when things started to get a lot better in my business. And I wasn't just growing a business. I was actually building a team, right? I was creating jobs. I was changing lives. I was giving people purpose and pride in what they were doing. And if you treat your people like tools, they're going to leave you. And if you pay them like crap, you're going to get crap results in return. And if you treat them like partners, guess what happens? They're going to help you build your business. Now, your employees are either going to be your greatest asset or one of your biggest liabilities. And that just depends on how you treat them and how you pay them. Okay, so the next lesson, ego kills more businesses than bad marketing. Now, you know what kept my friend from succeeding? It wasn't the lack of information that he had at his fingertips. It wasn't the economy. It wasn't the market. It wasn't his competition. It wasn't pricing. It was all ego. Now, he's probably watching this and it was all ego. You could have called me. But he didn't want help. He didn't want guidance. He wanted to prove that he could figure it out alone. And now he doesn't have a business to show for it. He's back working for somebody else. And that's what he didn't want to do. Now, let me say this as clearly as I can. Ego has no place in business. And I know people that watch this, they think I've got an ego, right? But whatever. But your pride isn't going to pay the bills. Your arrogance won't fix your schedule. And your refusal to learn won't close more jobs. So be humble enough to admit that you don't know. Be smart enough to ask for help and be brave enough to accept it, because that's the tough one, right? I struggled with that for a very long time. The next one is also something that I struggle with, and that is stop caring what anyone else thinks or says about you. Look, I know there are a lot of people out there that hate my face, right? They talk shit about me on Facebook. They run their mouths on Reddit. They ban us from groups, right? They make posts about how we're killing the industry because we teach people how to wash. They trash QuoteIQ, even though most of them have never even opened the app, or they're trying to slide in an affiliate link for one of our competitors. And you know what? I don't care, because here's the truth. The people talking the most are the ones doing the least. They've got nothing going on in their lives, so they focus on tearing down people who do. And this brings me to a message that you probably need to hear, because you're going to run into this exact same thing at some point in your business, right? All entrepreneurs do, all business owners do. The moment that you decide to bet on yourself, the moment you start chasing something bigger than a paycheck, people are going to come out of the woodwork, and it's not going to be good. You say you want to quit your job and start a business, they're going to laugh. You stop going out every weekend so you can focus on building something, your friends might get pissed off. You stop answering every call, stop going to every, event out there, and suddenly you're too good for everybody else. But listen to me. Don't take advice from people who aren't where you want to be, okay? This is another great little piece of advice. Winners don't shoot down. Do you think that Elon Musk is trolling small business owners online? You think the guys doing $2 million a year in home services are writing hate posts on Facebook groups? Fuck no, because winners are too busy building. Winners are too busy winning. So stop listening to the noise. Stop trying to get approval from people who don't even approve of themselves. That's the sad thing. Their opinion means nothing because they built nothing. Surround yourself with people doing better than yourself, people who are going to challenge you, people who are going to support you, and people that want to see you win. That's how you grow. So if you've got a vision, you got to protect it. If you've got momentum, you got to keep it going. And if you've got that fire, then do not let anybody put it out. Friends, family, nobody. And that takes us to our next lesson, which is you have to take calculated risks or you are going to be broke forever, okay? Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're scared of risk, that's fine. But don't expect to succeed in business if you're scared. This game is all about taking risks, but doing it intelligently and actually doing it, right? Implementing, taking that first step. You want a guarantee? Go get a job. You want freedom? You got to take chances. Look, I've risked time, I've risked money, relationships, comfort, so I could build something that works without me, right? Whether it's my wash business, whether it's QuoteIQ, whether it's whatever. Every risk that I've ever taken has taught me something, even the ones that didn't work out. And you're never going to find success sitting on your hands waiting for the perfect time. I hear that all the time. I'm going to start next week. No, start now. Take the shot, launch the ad, send the quote, hire the help, make the investment, okay? So that's that. The next one is success leaves clues, okay? There are guys doing exactly what you want to do, and they're absolutely crushing it. They are where you want to be. You don't have to guess. You just have to follow the path, right? Watch what works, do what they do, adapt it to your market, and then execute daily, implement daily. You have to take action. This isn't magic. It's not luck. It's doing the boring, consistent things every single day that are going to put you to where you want to be. And if you copy success long enough, guess what happens? You are also going to become successful. So let me leave you with this. There's no honor in failing alone. There is no shame in getting help. There is no shortcut to winning, but there is a smarter path. So this is your challenge. This is what I want you to do. I want you to start investing in yourself. I want you to start building systems. I want you to start training and paying your team like they need to be trained and they need to be paid. You need to start taking calculated risks, and you need to start surrounding yourself with people who actually know what they're doing, and stop caring what anybody says about you. Okay. The worst thing that you can do right now is absolutely nothing. So if you're ready to take this seriously, you know what to do, right? There's tons of resources out there. I put links down below for a couple different things. Do something today that your future self is going to thank you for, because you've really only got two options, right? You can either build a business that supports your life, or you keep running a business that drains the life out of you. The choice is yours, okay? And again, if you want to win that $5,000 package, that business starter kit that's going to help your business grow, all you got to do is like the channel, subscribe, do all that bullshit that I said earlier, and comment below, I want in, and you're entered. That's it, guys. I hope this helped. I hope it touched somebody out there, or at least, made you think a little. And we'll see you on the next one.